Hello, everyone. Today I want to talk about something that often gets overlooked in national conversations: the role and funding of HBCUs. HBCUs were founded during a time when African Americans had limited access to higher education. These schools provided a path to opportunity when few others did. Today, although they make up only about 3% of colleges in the United States, HBCUs graduate nearly 20% of all African American college students. They have trained generations of doctors, scientists, teachers, engineers, and leaders across all sectors of society. Despite their achievements, HBCUs have historically been underfunded. Most operate with smaller endowments and have faced years of public funding disparities. In fact, a federal analysis in 2023 found that land grant HBCUs have been underfunded by more than $12 billion compared to their predominantly white counterparts over the past 3 decades. These gaps directly affect infrastructure, student services, and growth. In response to these challenges, several significant steps were taken during the Trump administration to stabilize and increase federal support for HBCUs. One of the most impactful measures came in 2019 when President Trump signed the Future Act into law. This legislation provided $255 million in permanent annual funding for minority serving institutions, including about $85 million specifically for HBCUs. Before this act, HBCUs had to wait for Congress to renew funding each year, which created uncertainty for administrators and students alike. Making this funding permanent gave HBCUs the ability to plan ahead and invest in long-term improvements. Beyond the Future Act, the Trump administration also restricted the White House initiative on HBCUs. It was moved directly into the executive office of the president, a shift that was meant to give HBCUs greater visibility at the federal level and improve coordination between colleges and federal agencies. A new advisory board made up of HBCU leaders and private sector partners was also created to support policy development and collaboration. Additional support included over $100 million in new federal grants and program funding for HBCUs. These grants help expand research centers, STEM programs, and student support services. And after the hurricanes devastated several Gulf Coast HBCUs, the administration approved over $300 million in debt relief to help them recover. To be clear, these actions did not solve every funding problem facing HBCUs. State-level disparities and infrastructure needs remain, but the permanent funding provided by the Future Act and the organizational changes to federal HBCU support marked a shift toward more stable and long-term investment. Why does this matter? Because when HBCUs succeed, the entire country benefits. These institutions contribute over $16 billion annually to the U.S. economy. Their graduates often return to underserved communities as professionals, creating a cycle of opportunity and development. In short, HBCUs are not only just part of our past, they are vital to our future. Understanding how public policy affects these schools help us all become better informed citizens. The progress made during the Trump administration represents one chapter in a broader story, a story that continues as we consider how best to support educational equity and economic growth. Thank you.